All right, good morning, guys. This week we're going to review solving all quadratic equations. All right, last week we did completing the square. Week before we did the quadratic formula. And before when we were in school, we did using factoring. So we're going to do that all week. We're going to do worksheet today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and you're going to take your test on Thursday. And then we'll make Friday another makeup day. All right. So it doesn't, when you're solving these, you can do my method. You can do your own method. The quadratic formula always works. Make sure it's equal to 0. Completing the square always works. Make sure it's equal to the constant. That's the number without x. Factoring doesn't always work, but it is the easiest if it does work. So if we look here, well, first of all, I see all my answers have the square root of something, so I know I can't factor. Now, if I look, this is already perfect for completing the square. It's already equal to the constant. So I do my parentheses. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16, so I got to add 16 to the other side, and I get 40. Square root both sides. X minus 4 equals plus or minus the square root of 40. Add 4 to both sides. X equals 4 plus or minus the square root of 40. Now, if you notice, none of those are choices. That's okay. No worries. First of all, I see my 4 is positive, so I know it cannot be choice 2 or 4 because my 4 is negative. Now, to figure out which one it is, just use your calculator. 4 plus the square root of 40. That's my answer. So now, one of these two has to give me that number when I do plus. So 4 plus 2 square root 10, that's choice 1. This is right. It's the same thing, so it's choice 1. All right. Number 2, again, all my answers have square roots, so I know I can't factor. And this is perfect for completing the square. It's actually already set up. All I have to do is square root both sides. X plus 3 equals plus or minus the square root of 7. Minus 3 to both sides. X equals negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 7, which is choice 3. And I am done. All right, now if I look at choice 3, or not choice, number 3, look, all my answers are whole numbers, so I know I can factor this. And in fact, this is a dot. So, 2 parentheses. Square root the front. 4x squared is 2x. I put it in the front. Square root of 100 is 10. It's not 50. It's 10. And change your signs. T-chart, 2x plus 10 equals 0. 2x minus 10 equals 0. Minus 10 to both sides. 2x equals negative 10. Divide by 2. X is negative 5. And on the other side, add 10 to both sides. 2x equals 10. Divide by 2. X equals 5. That is choice 3. All right. This one, a little more challenging. Sorry that the camera's bouncing and my finger got in front, but we're going to hold the camera up for this one. All right, so this one, all my answers are whole numbers, so I know I can factor. So first thing, I got to get rid of this 4. 2 parentheses x plus 2 squared equals 32. Got to get rid of that 2. It's being multiplied, so I divide. X plus 2 squared equals 16. Okay, now, I know that we can probably factor this, but that's a lot more work. This is already squared here, so I'm just going to square root both sides. I get x plus 2 equals 4, because the square root of 16 is 4, and x plus 2 equals negative 4. Minus 2 to both sides, x equals 2. Minus 2 to both sides, x equals negative 6. So that would be choice 3. Okay. Taking a look at number 5. Look at my choices. Man, I know I can't factor. Look, it's already equal to 0. It's probably easiest just to use the quadratic formula. X equals negative b, so negative 7, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Negative 7 plus. Well, let's see what's inside. 7 squared minus 4 times 1 times 2 is 41. Over 2. So that is choice 3. And just a reminder, quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, and now the last one, I'm going to fold the page so you can see it, and I don't have to move the camera. Use my water bottle to hold the paper down. Okay. Again, if you look at this one, already equal to 0. Go right into the quadratic formula. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, b, which is negative 1, all over 2a. Calculator. 5 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 1 gives me 29. So I have negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 29. 2 times 1 is 2. Choice 3. All right, so complete this worksheet. All right, check your answers with the answer key that's been posted in a few minutes. And make sure you do your Google form. We will have a quiz, a test on Thursday. All right, see you guys soon. Bye.